Hello coders, welcome back to another YouTube tutorial. In this tutorial, after the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to send a text message to your loved ones. You'll be able to persist the message in the database. If you are new to this channel, may you kindly subscribe so that you'll be notified whenever we upload a new video, especially this video like this chat application can help you to understand the storage of a Appwrite, the database of an Appwrite, the authentication of the Appwrite. So let's get started. So we want to create a message state. So let's go to our models and copy the existing one, the auth state. This is the authentication state. Let's copy it. We call it message state and copy the class name. Let's replace everything here with message state. Control F, Control R, Control V, replace all. For a message state, we need our my user ID. Then we need friend user ID. A loading, we need it also, so let's leave it as it. Then the message, and also the message that you want to send and the message type. So the message type is either a text or an image, a video, or voice note. So after doing this, let's go to our chat on pages dashboard chat. We want to create a view here with a view model, so we can call it message view model. Message view model. And we say class message notifier. We are using Riverpod, so it will be listening to the notifier. Extends, put a dollar here, underscore, I think it's underscore dollar, and then the class name. And let's annotate with a Riverpod. So this is the same as what we did with login notifier. If you go here, it's just the same. So what you can do here, you can just copy the build for this and paste here, and the name of the state here is the message state that we created here. Let's copy this, so our build you're going to have this one, and we can import, but we must add also a part here. You see, this is the part that we have here. So the name of the part will be the view model, like the class name. So we just say part, oh sorry, or we can come here and just copy as it is like this, and here you just say message view model. This is the message view model, which is the same as the class name. Remember, put a G because we are going to generate this one. This thing is going to be generated in this file. So after doing this, let's go to our readme file. Let's copy the command line runner. Let's run it. Paste it and run. So it will generate the notifier, the state also, it will generate this file will be generated, and also this one. So let's add these classes into Git. So after we are done with this, let's go back to our view model, which is this one. So here there are things that you want to set up. So let's say we want to set up the change of a friend's name, and also the change of a message, and also the change of a friend user ID. So what you do, you just say void message type changed, and you can pass the string, which is the message type. So you just say input, and here you just say our new state, the current state that we have, dot cope with. Then we want to modify this one is for message type change only. So here you just say message type equals to the input. This is how you update each field. So let's add also another. So here it's a message, means the text that you want to change. So here we just say message, and we can update also our friend user, like the friend user ID changed, friend user ID changed, friend user. So here we are just copying. Let's say you updated this and this. So when you want to update this one, it will copy the data that is already in here and here, and just updating the one field that we have. So here, just copy also. This one will be the my user ID, which is your current user who is logged in. My user ID, and here my user ID, right? So after doing this, I think we'll be able to update these changes. So what we can do, we can go to our view, which is the message screen, and in this view, from our model, we want the notifier, right? And also we want the state. So let's do this. Let's go to our message screen, and let's update this one into the message notifier. Let's import it. And also we want our message state in our message view. Just Command D for a shortcut. And this one will be message state. So from our reference here, we can use our reference to watch or to read what is in there, like what we did in our auth. So for reference sake, you just go to the login page and you can see what we did here. So it's just the same. We let me just copy here and come back to our view chat message screen. And what we do here, this is the reference, and you are listening to this one. So here, let's remove this and paste this. Let's copy this, remove this, and paste this. But here we are listening to the wrong notifier provider. So the correct notifier provider is in here. Sorry, it's in here. This is the notifier provider. So you just copy this and we can paste this like this. So from here we'll be able to use to notify and to read what is in the new state, and here we can be able to call the other methods. So from notifier, so we can use our notifier to set the value. So let's get, yeah, in this send message we can just say message notifier dot set friend user ID. So here it will be friend user ID, which is here. We are updating this to the new state, and here you just put a optional, maybe to be now. And here we want to update my user ID, and this one will be my user ID. Put a semicolon here, and here let's update our message type. Set message type. Let's say message type first. The message type is this one that we are passing in this method. This is the message type, and the message, the message that we want to send, message changed, then we pass this message. So what else did we miss here? Message, I think we updated this for. So after doing this, we want to create now a send message. We have this, so we want to create a send message into here, which is the implementation to send a message. So let's implement it. So to create this method, send message, let's create it will be a feature of void, right? Then we can call it send message, and we are putting it into our view model, class message view model, remember, and like this, and it will be async because we'll be sending it to Appwrite. So here we have our try catch, and it's on Appwrite exception, and here we just say it's a catch, remember, catch exception. So here we want to construct the model that we want to use to send a message. So the model for this, we must go here. We want to create a model which is a message model with the message that we want to create in our database. So we can go here into our models and create a message Appwrite class file, and we can call this one message Appwrite. So this is our message. Then we create this. Then we just say class command V. I copied this. So from our class, let's just do simple things. Let's copy from here. We already have something similar. Let's just copy this and go back to our message Appwrite class. Where is this class located? Okay. So we want to replace everywhere with friend contact, Control F, Control R, replace with this, replace all. So if you go to friend contact here, you see we have JSON serialization because we want to generate from to JSON. So here the name of the class is this one. So for our message, we want to have a send user ID, like who sent the message. We want to have receiver user ID, which is the friend who is going to receive the message. Receiver user ID. And we also want a display name, right? We can leave it like that. The message, the actual message, we also want the type, which is the message type, either text, audio, voice, so we know which view to display. And we also the date. The date time means send date, which is the device date, right? And also the let's add another boolean, sorry, which is a message, like we can say read, maybe to know that if the message was read. Yeah, that's all here. So we just copy one by one. Receiver ID, display name, right? Let's put a comma and do this. We can put type, the send date, and also the boolean, which is read. So these are the fields that we want to create also on our collection. So let's format this, and here I think we are good to go. So we generate this class. So let's run the same command again. Let's see message upright. Okay, we did import this. Let's import this. Yeah, let's run again the class. Yeah, you can see it was created. Let's say git. Let's add this class to our git. You can also clone this project. The link is in the description below. So let's go back to our model view. Here we want to create now our message. Let's import this. Here, just do this. Usually, let's just say message. So here you just say message dot send user ID equals to state dot my user ID, then put a full colon, receiver user ID, which is a friend user ID, read by default it is false. The message is not read by the time we send the, and also message, it will be the state dot message, and the type message type, and also date sent, we can say date time dot now like the time that you are sending, right? And also the display name. For now, it doesn't matter. So for display name, just leave it blank. Or let's remove it. Let's go here. The field is not necessary. Let's remove it. Let's regenerate this without display name. And it will update the existing one, right? So if you need the display name, we can use these details to get the user. So what you want to do next is to have a database provider for so that we can save this. So let's go to the providers, our core providers, leave core. Here we have the account provider. So here we can create our database provider. We can just copy this and paste it here. We just say Appwrite, or we can say database provider, like this. It's okay. And here we just say databases, right? And here say database provider, database provider. So we can use this database provider in our model view, like what we did in our auth. We can reference to our auth where we use our auth. You just copy this and you can go to our view so that we can minimize the errors. But here we want to use a database provider that we created. Just copy this and paste here and import this one, database provider. Command Z. Here it's a databases. Don't worry. Then here you just say databases. It's okay. So after doing this, we can use now the database. So from here, we want to save this message. So we can use databases, the databases dot create document. We want to create this message, and the database already have it. It's in strings dot. So let's import the strings here. Database ID, and also strings dot collection dot message ID. By right now we don't have the message ID, so you go to the Appwrite dashboard and create the collection for that. And for the document, we want to create a new document ID, so we just say const UUID, right? Dot v4, right? It will return a string of the new document. So each document we have a unique ID. So each document it's a new message. So message dot here to JSON. It's supposed to be a map. It supports a map. So here it will be an await. We want to wait. Then it will return a document. So after doing this, we just say you can just print like message sent, message send, put a $sign, and it will be the document dot, it has this $id. You can use it. This is the created ID here. If you have an exception, you just print the exception, because right now we can have exceptions since we don't have this collection and created. So now let's create these values, the collection for the messages. So let's log into Appwrite. Let's log in code with Bisq project, and go to the databases. This is the database that we want to use. So far we have two collections, so let's create a new one called messages, where we are saving these messages. Right, after doing this, we can create attributes, and we can, let's do this. I want to do this. Just for now, let's do this. I want to know the field's name. I can go here. Let's create a new attribute, and the first attribute is send user ID. Send a user ID. Just copy this one, and it will be a string. The size, just say our phone number will not more than 50, and it's a required true. Let's add another attribute again, which is a receiver ID, and it's a string also. Let's just say 50, and it's required. Each message must have that, and a message that you want to send, and it's a type string also, and the message will be a big one. Let's say like this. It's a require, let's leave, maybe sometimes it's a blank. The size too big, let's reduce. Let's try to reduce again. Still big. Yeah, let's leave it like this. So for the type, so we'll be able to send like a paragraph. So let's create another attribute, which is a type, either a text or a text or audio, in the size a minimum of 50. Each message must have a type. The send date, let's create this attribute also, which is the date, and here we have the attribute date time. I just leave it as it is. Can be now, doesn't matter. The read is a boolean. The read is a boolean, and default to false. It doesn't matter. For now, let's leave it like that. So after doing this, we'll be able to save our message, but we want to add some rows for us, for the user to be able to create or update. So all users must have rights to create, read, update, and delete a message. So a user can delete a message from the phone, able to create, to update. So the updating may be updating the read status. The read is to view the messages. The create is to create the messages that with the implementation that we did. So after doing this, we'll be able to do that. So we just copy the collection ID, okay, and we can come back to our code here into our view model. After doing this, let's go to here, message ID. Let's put our new collection ID of the collection that we just created. So after doing this, we'll be able to send a message using this method. So we can code this method inside our, let's go to our screen, message screen. From here, we just say message notifier dot send message. So by doing this, we'll be able to send a message. So let's see where we are calling this method. If you click here, the message. So let's test the implementation that we did. Let's open in simulator. Yeah, let's run the application and test if you are able to send a message. So let's open the Friends tab and sync our friends. And then we can open this. So here we can see from our logs, let's try to send a message here and just type, hi, how are you? Let's send this message and see. We can see the message was sent with this ID. Let's check. Let's go to the documents. You see, we have managed to send a message, which is a typed text and a message here. Hi, how are you? How are you? Then the sender was this number and the receiver is this number. So we are now able to send a message, but there's one thing that we also want to do. We want to create what is called a chat head. For each message, if you go to our emulator, we were in this tab friends. So in this chat, we just want to show a chat with a title of the message, say how are you from the sender, so and also the read count. So to manage that, we must create another collection for chats. So this chat contains only one person, one friend, and one what, and one message, that the latest message in that. So it's either the message that you sent or the message that you received. So let's create a chat head. So before you do that, let's create another model. That model, we can call it chat upright. Let's just copy the message, this one. Let's copy this one and create another method called chat upright. So on this one, here we just say chat upright. Let's remove the message. We already have it. Chat upright. Let's replace message upright with chat upright. Replace all like this. We also need we must know the sender, ID, receiver, the message, and in here we want also the type and also the display name. Okay, let's leave it like this. And the read we need it, and we need also like string, which is the key, and we need also the int count, like the number of message that was sent by a friend. And also we need the display name. So the username, that is the user that is being used by your friend. So this one is a display name. Yeah. By doing this, we must add this send ID read. We need the key. We need the key here. We need the display name here. We also need the key display name, the count. So after doing this, we are now have our chat. Sender user ID, all of this, I think these are okay. And let's go to our terminal and generate the model for chat upright. Yes, it is. The file is generated. Let's add it into our Git. So after doing this, let's go back to our, we want to create this model like what we did to the message. So let's do that again. We can minimize this and try to do this here. So to avoid errors, let's create another collection called chat. Go to our attributes. Let's add our first attribute, and the first attribute will be user ID, and it's type string 50 required receiver ID. Just copy this as it is, string 50 required. Let's add another one, which is message type string. Let's try to do this. Save. In the message type, let's create it and type string and just 50. It's also a required thing. Each message send date. This field you can use it for temporal. I will show you when you are reading the data. Just create it, and we want the read one. It's a boolean, set value to false, and a key. A key is the same as the user ID, as the document ID string. Let's say 100, and it's a required one. And the display name, we need a display name. String can be 255 required. And the count is an integer. How many messages are in the chat thread? Integer. It doesn't matter. Create. Yeah. So let's go to our settings, permissions, all users, mark all this, then update. So by doing this, we are now able to save our charts. So let's copy the charts ID and go back to our to our IDE. Let's go back to our view model, the chat view model. From strings we have chat ID, so we can paste our chat ID here. So after doing this, we just want to create the chat head. Each message have a chat head, the chat head for the sender and the chat head for the receiver. So by doing that, let's just say, let's create a new method that we call future. It's a void again. And this one, we just say create or update chat head. If the chat head exists, we update it. If it doesn't exist, we create a new one. So we want to pass this. You see, it's simple. And we want the string, which is the key, and you want to pass the string friend user ID, string my user ID. It's going to be async because it's a future, remember. So here we want to create a new chat head. So the name of the chat, it's Chat Appwrite. So what we do is we just do this. And we can import the library. Here we can supposed to pass parameter by parameter, but let's leave it like that. And here we just say message, equals to message appwrite. Okay, it's a message dot message. And the next parameter is a display name. So for display name, just say await get display name. For now, leave it like this, and we can just pass my user ID. We can get it. So let's create this method, or we can create it later. And the send date, it will be the same as this one. Let's just copy. Sometimes copying is faster. Then the receiver user ID is the friend user ID, and the sender user ID is my user ID, and the type of the message is from message dot type, and also the count. For now, let's leave it like 0. Let's put 0. And for the key, we just say key. And for the read, we just say false. So by doing this, let's create this method. So in this method, we want to get, so here we just say user ID. It's either for the friend or it's for the friend, or it's for your ID. So let's put try, and we have our await and we are waiting for underscore. Let's import this underscore document. We have an exception here. Let's just copy this and put it here. Maybe it will work. What is here? It's a database. Let's just copy this. Let's just copy this as it is. So from here we have await, and we want to get a document. In this document, it allows a database ID, and the collection is the collection user ID. We want to get the ID, the user that we created before, and the document ID, it will be a user ID. Then we can delete this. It's a get. So yeah, I think it's a brace and a semicolon. So we just say user appwrite dot from JSON. We can say document that we have dot data, and here we can create our in the semicolon here. For now, we can refactor what is in here. It's a name, and here we can just return. If it's now, we just return the mobile number. It's okay, and it will return this. So after doing this, we want to create this document, this charted. So let's just copy a try catch here. What we did here, just copy this and paste here. So, but before we do this, let's remove this. Here we want to create a charted. The collection will be, we want to get from charted. So we want to check if the charted exists. So we can, the charted key, so the key is always unique for each time. So after doing this, if this record exists, we just say shut up right document dot data. So here it means the record exists for this charted. So if it exists, we just get the existing chart. Then from this we just say chart upright. Then this is the new one. If it exists, we just get the count. So here just say the retrieved one. So for here, sorry, for the count we just say 1. So for the retrieved one, we just say we want to update this one with the new count. So we just say this one dot count equals to retrieved dot count. If it's 0, if it's now, we just say 1 plus 1. So it's count plus 1. Then after doing this, we can update this record. So the update is the same as the create one, this one. So but the difference is that we are updating to different collection and a different. So document chart update. So here we are updating a different chart collection, which is this one, and the document ID is the key, right? And also this one, we want to update this. The object is different. So here we can just copy like what we did here. Chart updated. Chart head updated. Chart head updated, and with the existing chart head ID, which is the same as the key. So here, so on Appwrite, when you do a get like this, if the key does not exist, it will throw an exception 404. So we want to handle that exception. So we just say if exception dot code is 404, it means the record does not exist. So let's create a new one. So to create a new one, we just copy the same code that we have here and we can paste it here. But here we are saying create document is supposed to be update document, because we are updating existing document that is already there. We are not creating it. And here we are just creating a new document because it does not exist. So here it say chat head what created. So by doing this, we'll be able to create a head. So let's go to our logic. After we send a message, we want to create a head. So let's first create our two keys. String key 1 is equals to, let's say, $message, which is the message here, dot receiver ID, and we can copy the same again. Here will be the sender ID. The first key, we are concatenating the two numbers. So here for the second key, it will be sender ID and the receiver ID. So we want to create a new chat head here. In the first chat head, we send the message, the key 1, then state dot friend user ID and state dot my user ID. This is the first head of the receiver of the friend, and here is this head for the sender, which is the user who is sending, and here will be my user ID, and here will be friend user ID. So by doing this, we'll be able to create two chat heads. So each message has two chat heads. So let's test this and create. So we can just save this like this, and let's go to our message. So far we are not pulling an existing message. So let's say, how are you again? Let's send. Okay, here it failed. The first chat head, it failed because the ID wasn't exist. So we created a chat head. The reason for that is because we are printing this, but it's 404 as you can see here. So it will create a new chat head. So another head, it was 404 again, and we create another chat. So you can see on our chat, we have two same messages, but the sender and the receiver, the IDs are now different. So on the chat screen, we are going to filter based on one of these or one of the between the two, so that we'll be able to what? To see who was sending a message to you. So thank you, coders. If you are new to this channel, may you kindly subscribe. I hope you understand how to send a message, how to create a new chat head, and in the next video, we are starting to do the logic of reading the message on the screen and later on sending pictures, videos, voice notes, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Salut coders.